Hi all, let's have a look at another amazing game from TCEC, Season 17, Super Final. This is in round 93. By the way, there's a quotation there, even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. This is by Mikhail Shugorin, not Michael, Mikhail. It needs to be painful when you say it. It's a Russian name, yes. Mikhail Shugorin was an inspiration for the Soviet chess school. And this opening is the Shugorin defense. So d4, d5, we have knight f3, we have knight c6. And you might think this is a rather silly opening. Doesn't it block in the c-pawn? And although you might not be aware of the finesses of this, you're in a way kind of right. It's not very popular nowadays for this very reason. It blocks in the c-pawn. So anyway, white plays g3 here, bishop g4, bishop g2, queen d7, and both sides castle. This is now after c3, this is the end of the book. And when I first saw this at TCEC, I thought, there's a ready-made plan here actually. White does have a very interesting and effective plan, it seemed to me, just to play b4 and then b5 and then knight e5 and then queen a4, and then this looks all rather dangerous to me. I thought, okay, one level of sophistication if the knight goes to b3 first. I mean, after b4 the knight goes to b3 to stop knight a5. But other than that, it looks as though black's having not such a pleasant time here already, and Leela perhaps shares this opinion and plays f6, at least trying to deprive knight e5 from white. We do have b4, and Leela tries for a plan, but it's a little bit slow by contrast. The plan of bishop h3 and h5 h4 is nice if black's given several moves in a row, but unfortunately it's white's turn. We have b5, the knight does go to a5. On knight b8, it seems as though bishop takes and queen takes h3, c4 is strong. As an example, it seems here c7 is a very fast target for white, much faster than anything black can do. This continual threat of mate repeating, and white ends up crashing through based on that. It doesn't really matter about this attempted attack on the h file. You can see it's far too slow. Devastation for black. So anyway, we do have knight a5 here, not knight b8. So this is the safer alternative. Stockfish now volunteers actually bishop takes h3, dragging the queen, near the proximity of the king. You might think this is a little bit counterintuitive, but is it really that dangerous? We have queen a4, so the knight is protected. Knight bd2, king b8, c4. Already, it looks like a painful position. h5 is played. If d takes, knight takes. This position is, as you might expect, quite pleasant for white. White can even play this. The queen's protecting d1 still, and it's a rather crushing situation. White really controls the center a lot here and can still play for the a file attack. It's very horrible for black. So we have actually h5, c takes, h4, knight b3. Here, white needs to be careful, of course. If knight takes h4, this is running into trouble with g5, and then e6, and then this idea of g4, because there's an exchange sack with bishop d6 in view, and it could lead to real trouble. The black pieces could actually conspire for something dangerous in these variations. If white really is asking for trouble, white can get it. However, Stockfish is not going to do that in a hurry, and plays actually knight b3, just playing on with its own attack. Forget the h file. The a file is of interest to white. hg, fg, which provides a safety net, rook f2 if needed, to protect the h2. e5, that's taken with d takes. So now we have f takes, and now rook f2. So even, well, white controls e4 anyway, as well as c5. There's no big ideas for black here, it seems. Clearly, if knight takes h2, by the way, knight takes e5, then queen takes h2 as mate. So, yes, the knight's kind of virtually pinned, but rook f2 now means the e5 pawn is attacked. We have knight f6, and indeed, Stockfish does actually take on e5. We have rook takes d5. Now knight takes a5, which indirectly protects the other knight as well. B takes, because if rook takes, then there's knight c6 check, and check there, and then taking here is brilliant for white. So B takes, check, and we have basically the rest of the game is a bit of a king hunt here. Knight takes a7 check, bishop e3. It's just dreadful king safety. Leela is being destroyed here, well, has been destroyed already. Bishop d6, b6, opening up more lines. The king is going to be rather naked here soon. After bishop takes g3, okay, white has to be careful not to play h takes g. Unless a major bug creeps into Stockfish, it's not going to allow this mate here with queen h1. So we have actually b takes c7, and the king chases on for the black king. Okay, so king d8, knight c6 check, king d7, knight e5 double check, which forces the king to move. Rook c6 check, king e7, knight g6 check. This is all pretty forcing stuff. King f7. If king e8, then c takes f6. Rook c takes f6 is rather devastating. So this is all pretty devastating stuff. For example, like this. It's all gory. Yes. Okay. So king f7 instead of king e8. Knight takes h8 check. Yes, Leela has been tactically dismantled. So the concept here is that the openings can really influence the perceived strength of the engines. If they're not really, if they're disadvantaged from the opening, well, if it doesn't really follow the strengths of the engine as well, then it can be pretty terminal. So yeah, Leela has been completely destroyed in this game. There is this check here which is played, king e1. There's not too many checks to follow up here. We have rook d8, knight g6, queen g3, rook c takes f6, which rips apart any control of d5 here, actually. That knight was helping control d5 sometimes. And now there's this queen b3 check. You'll also note here this is a loose queen now on g3. It's not protected by anything. So black desperately plays rook d5. If king g7, then bishop h6 check picks up the queen. So it's brutal. Yes. So rook d5, this really did happen. King g7, check, 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 check. And actually the game ended here. And the mate apparently wasn't played. So that was the end of that. Yes, the famous quotation, even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. Well, actually, black might as well have not had a plan in this game. It was just far too slow, actually, compared to white's plan. Philosophically, I think the Stockfish and Leela supporters maybe need to try and get involved in the opening selection where possible to favour their engine next time. I don't know. No, it did seem fair overall. There were some strategic openings. There were some tactical openings. It showed off the strengths and weaknesses of both engines. But this game in particular showed off the weaknesses of Leela. Being it's a total onslaught of Leela's king being chased from pillar to post from the left side of the board to the right. It's pretty horrible, yes. Okay, but it's for the record. I'm covering the decisive game, so you might find this mildly entertaining. Okay, if you want to challenge me for a game, by the way, kingscrusher.tv or bit.ly/chessbold. If you register there, I'll be able to invite you for a game shortly after that. If you want to join my Suave chat forum, there's kingscrusher.tv/discord. There's also playlists, bit.ly/Leela chess, bit.ly/Stockfish chess. There's also other playlists, bit.ly Magnus Carlsen chess. Okay, Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated, and let me know what you think about the I might do some more quotations above there. Do you find that fun? Let me know if you find the quotation section I've just added here fun. I might try and add some more for other videos in the future. Okay, thanks very much.